What's up and welcome back to the channel. This is Ninja Knight and you are listening to Real Talk Gettr. This is something that I like to do quite often, which is I like to talk on solo streams, and what I want to do is I want to bring people on and I want to interview them as well. People that are going to be running for elections, people that have been working really hard and have been shown and standing up for the Irish people over the last number of years. And I think there's one fella that caught my eye as such when it comes to all of the stuff that's going on. And his name is Fergus Power. And Fergus Power is someone that has been regularly in the chat. And he caught me eye first when I was talking about him, I think maybe a year ago now, maybe even more. And he was outside Mountjoy prison. And I'm sure you'll all remember it very well, where he was outside and he was standing up for Enoch, Burke, one of the very few people that did at the time, and has been absolutely relentless in his support of free speech and indeed in his support of Ireland. This is a guy that you've seen on previous streams as well, where I've shown videos and images as well, where he was over and he was protesting peacefully as well, and he was arrested by An Garda Síochána. And now we'll be chatting about that tonight, because I'm sure we'll get his side of the story when it's coming to that. And as we have seen on this stream beforehand, I think from the angles that we saw, he didn't do anything wrong. But I'm delighted to say he's here on the stream tonight. This is a guy that he's getting a big followership online, and I sincerely hope he's someone that people are going to vote for in an election going forward. We've had enough of snakes here in this country, and what we need here now is we need real Irishmen standing up for the Irish people. So here he is now, Fergus Power. So come on in.
How's it going, brother? You all right, Ninja? Thanks for having me.
There, you're in, Ferg, there.
How's it going, Ninja? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it, and the fact that you've been in the chat and all of that, and I've been online, a big online presence for so long is so appreciated. It's great to have someone that's out there. So we'll start off with, if you want to address the chat, or if you want to talk to anybody out there, let them know who you are and what's going on and how you got started in this whole situation.
Yeah, my name's Fergus Power. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm an Irish patriot that absolutely adores this country, and I do anything for it. And our people. Basically, I started a few years ago, back in the water church days. I went out on my own, actually marched on my own with the whole crowd out there, but I went out on my own because I wasn't having the whole country's up in arms. I don't know how we're not getting those numbers now, to be honest with you. That's what that's been put through for the last few years. You should have the same numbers, but I think slowly but surely people are coming around to the fact. Like, look at Killock last Sunday. The numbers to get out there, so yeah, I think we're on the right path to taking this country back.
Massively so, and I think Killock was a big turning point, I think, as well. There's been a lot of them that have been massive turning points, and the fact now politicians are being confronted, I think, is absolutely phenomenal, and I think that's a big thing. And the fact that you guys are going to be challenging them, which we'll get to as we move along. So you said you started off with the water charges, and then, as I said there, you were outside Mountjoy prison standing up for Enoch Burke. So can you tell me a little bit about what was going on there, and what was your feeling on that whole situation?
Myself and Laurie and the kids were away. We were up in Donegal at the time, and she handed me a paper with the fact he's had to been arrested, how that was going on, and just something inside me, I wasn't having it. Or a fellow Irishman and an innocent man at that, just standing up against this absolutely satanic agenda, disgusting agenda that promotes and advocates for little kids, little innocent children, and usually autistic children that targeting to cut their healthy body parts off, and that not a hope. So yeah, something in me, and look, I've said that on another stream before. It was God, Ninja. Yeah. In my eye, that's how I walk. I walk with God. I get guided by God, and I have a very, very close relationship with God, which has brought me to where I am now and doing what I'm doing. And yeah, I took it upon myself. We got home. Laurie made a homemade board. I stand with Enoch, and I went out to Mountjoy. I was probably there for about 3 days on my own. Sunday walk came out. I think the second day I took a snap for loan support, whatever. But after a few days, a very good friend of mine now, Helen, she came out. She was nearly there every day with me, and then it just grew from there. More and more people got involved. You had Chris Sky over. He done a thing outside. Derek Bly came up from Cork. Phil came out and covered it. You had loads of people out there, and it was just absolute. The support was absolutely phenomenal, and the amount of people. Like, I tell you, even now, I'll give it. I met a man from Finglas. He was actually going to the hospital. Right, he's going to the matter. He had the thing out there. Mick Brady, his name is. He's from Finglas, and to this day, I'm in touch with that man every day. we message him and the whole lot, and the amount of people that we've met, and I'll always say it, I just feel absolutely blessed. I really do. The amount of people that are absolutely brilliant people, once in a lifetime people, whose hearts are big on this island themselves, and I just feel so blessed to have met so many great people, man. I really do.
For sure, that's it. The love on this side is unbelievable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's quite something to have like an entire side of people where everyone's really nice, and you know everyone's going towards the I suppose preservation of Ireland, which is very important. And I mean, like, we all see it with our own eyes, we all hear it with our own ears now, and I think it's gotten to a point in time now where people have just had enough. And like you said, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for you, that you were like, oh no, this is absolutely outrageous. And in considering, like you were saying there as well too, we were mentioning people with autism and the fact that they have been brought into this ideology and is targeting them and has targeted them in the past. And you see a lot of it on Twitter, I'm sure yourself, where these people are just driven towards this weird ideology and they get locked into it. And it's a very sad thing to see, because, you know, it's something that's going to greatly affect them forevermore, and it's irreversible, as you know. So I have to take my hat off to you when it comes to those things. And with Enoch Burke as well, this is something that he's standing up for himself. People would say, it's the what issue is it? He's defying the courts. But hang on, like, you know what I mean? You people, the same people that are talking about the courts, were upset about nothing to do with the Geneva Convention and the Nuremberg Code when that was thrust upon us then over the last couple of years over the flu. So I think that as well too was a big problem and a big issue for people. So fair play to you for standing up there when it comes to Enoch Burke. And have you been in touch or anything like that with Enoch Burke at all, or what's the sort of update there, or what's going on?
No, we wrote a letter back in the day. I wrote a letter into him, but I never got a reply. The way the family's working, I don't think they get involved with. I don't think they're just doing their own thing. And come here and tell you, this government, I'll tell you one thing, they're at the biting more than you can chill with this family. I'm telling you here now. And that his name and the whole lot, this isn't a fucking, sorry for cursing, this isn't a coincidence, Enoch.
Yeah.
Look, go and read your Bible, man. Tell you, this is all playing out. The whole lot of this is playing out in the good book. And if you're not, what way to put it? If you're not good with God, you want to get good with him soon, because especially the weekend that's in it as well. Like, but yeah, it's not. None of this is coincidental. This is all played out the way it's all God's plan in my eyes, Ninja.
I fully believe you, and that's it. And I feel exactly the same, because, you know, when it came to the last couple of years, like, there was something that told me, you know, you got to get on YouTube and you got to start talking about what's going on. It's wrong, like, and I just couldn't sit by any longer, and that's why I do what I do, and I enjoy doing this. You know, I feel that there's something to it. But I thought even yesterday I had an interaction on Twitter with an individual, and they were trying to mock the fact that I follow God. And I said, are you a follower of, you know, Lucifer? When in another word, I suppose, I said Satan. And this person confirmed it. They said, yeah, that they were. And that they were saying hell and everything like that. And funnily enough then, that person is actually followed by Senator Lynn Boylan of Sinn Féin. So I don't know if there's something to that. I don't know whether Lynn Boylan knows that she's following this person, but that's a very strange situation to have occurred. And there's a video coming on that very soon. So, look, I think that what we are seeing right here now is a battle between good and evil. I think good is currently in the victorious corner as things stand, because I think good will always triumph. But moving back to what we were talking about there now, you have been on many protests as well too, and you've become a very popular figure amongst this side of the fence. And when they call you far right, for example, what's your thoughts when they say something like that towards and about you? I mean, it's absurd stuff.
Sticks and stones, mate. I tell you here now, the fucking amount of shit I get online. I have a real, I get great crack out of looking at years going back at people and all. But as a real, I never ever give them a fucking second of oxygen. I don't waste my time on them. For me to get upset by something someone says about me, I'd have to value their opinion first. And the opinions of felt like that doesn't matter. They're just I don't know what's going on with these people's lives, what happened to them. Don't know. It's sad, really. That's all they have, that bitterness and anger and fucking hate. That's just obviously tuned them up inside. It's a horrible existence. Like, you know what I mean? I have a great family here. That's exactly it. I get up every morning, and all in my head, my mind, my heart, my soul is to make sure that my kids have an absolutely wonderful future on this island, and that nothing happens to their birthright, that God-given birthright. And I'll do anything, and I mean anything, to make sure that happens.
I love to hear that idea. And like you said, what you're mentioning there is the fact that likes of me like that will quote tweet people and take the mic and go back and forward with that. Fully agree with you. But sometimes what I like to do is like to shine a light on these people and say, look what we're dealing with. Like, look what they're saying it themselves and they're saying some weird stuff. I think one of the comments that I like to make towards people, especially when it comes to the fact that they want like a mass immigration into this country and they want very, very, I would say, sinful things happening here in this country. I asked them why do they hate Ireland, and it's like they've never been asked that question before, and they all sort of, I could imagine that they all take a step back and they're like, this person's asking why I hate Ireland, and the Irish people are like, what's the story here? And I think it's the first time that these people have ever understood that that's how they come off. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't understand this at all, how they come off whatsoever. And I think it's quite something when you see it on social media. Again, a lot of them have these opinions and they'll sit behind little profiles that are online and they won't come out to protest and view their and put their views out there to people like yourself or anything like that in person, but they'll hide behind that and they'll say negative things. And I think it's very funny. I think it's quite hilarious, to be quite honest with you. But going back on what we were saying there, the protest when it comes to it, like, what has been your feeling when you're seeing people standing up then for Ireland and the issue that has been happening? What do you think was a big protest that kind of was like, right, this is really on?
Like back when it started, just recently.
Just recent. Well, I suppose encompassing all of it, like all of it linked in. I suppose like the beginning of it and how it is right now. Like, it's been a big turnaround. What, like, have you seen a big turnaround yourself? Like, in the terms of numbers or people that are passionate or people that are looking to stand for election, for example, have you seen a big difference?
Yeah, big time. I think the bank holiday Monday was absolutely phenomenal. I think the way they got walloped, that criminal cartel and the dog got walloped in that bout referendums, absolutely stunning. And Killock last Sunday was just absolutely, I was blown away. I wasn't even expecting the amount of people out there. And even last night, we were out at that Cabins Island place out in Ballyferm. I played in Bluebell there last night. Got a good turn out there. And the amount of people coming up out there, Ninja, and saying and talking about running. Oh, do you think I said, just don't have no fear whatsoever. You can't do a worse job of what these absolute fucking animals are doing now at the moment. They're destroying the country. So it's up to people to stand up, be brave, have no fear, and just go for it and take their seats. Because there's no way you're going to do a worse job than what's in there now.
I totally agree with you, and especially when you see an article like last night there, I think it was last night or the night before, that they put out an article and they were like, there's a Fine Gael candidate running in an election now coming up, and she's from Ukraine. She's been here, I think it was less than a year or so. She's running in an election. Like, that boils my piss now, to be quite honest with you, when you see things like that, because you're going, hang on here for a sec. And I think what it actually should do is, like what you were saying, Ferg, it should actually give more people more, I would say, courage. And not courage, I don't think is the right word. I think more of a bit between their teeth is what I'd like to say. To go and run an election, if that person is running into this country and is doing that, like, surely to God that you can do that. You know what I mean? And that's why I respect people that are running for elections, and especially like people that are doing either independent work or the new nationalist parties that are coming forward. You know what I mean? Like, you've got a lot of good ones like Gordon Force, for example. Like, they're doing brilliant stuff. They are. Philip Dwyer's going to be running with them. I think that's an awesome thing to see. And like that, different pockets in different areas, people are going to be running in and taking those seats. Hopefully, this is a big thing. And I think by 2030, I think this is going to be a pretty strong nationalist government here in this country. Would you share a similar view, or what way would you view things, how they're going to shake out?
Yeah, no, I definitely shared it. I don't think we have the time up to 2030 to sort this country out. I think if these keep pushing the way they're pushing, and before I say what I'm going to say here, right, I'm not advocating for violence. I never do. Never have. Go and show me somewhere where I've advocated for violence to anyone, right? I've never have. I'm always peaceful. But if they keep doubling down and doing what they're doing and the whole lot, even Jana, fair play to her. Jana, yes, he put out a tweet and said about Roderick O'Gorman, like, he's going to have to be removed by force. The woman said that. You know what I mean? So I think down the line, I think every man worth his salt on this island that wants the same thing as what we do, they're going to have to come together in numbers, right? That will overwhelm anything. I'm not talking about throwing digs. I'm not talking about being violent. I'm just talking about having numbers that will make the fucking ground rattle and shake when you're walking up, and just overwhelm anything that's put in front of you. That they'll just walk off. They'll throw the towel in. So I think down the line, that's what's going to have to happen.
I think it's coming insofar as like what you were talking about was a political sense, and I agree with you on that one because the referendum, as you said earlier on, was a walloping. And when you see guys that are like, there's a lad there running in Killock, I think Kevin. Am I right in saying that Kevin's running in Killock, and he put out a video the other day. I thought it was great to see, and you know what? It was something else, and this is going to say I love the heartfelt videos that are coming out from our side of the fence. There's nothing, and what I like about it is there's nothing sort of like, you look at Simon Harris, for example. We'll get into talking about Simon Harris and Leo Varadkar in a minute, but you look at those guys and they're just, it's like they're designed or something like that. Do you know the sort of way? Do you get me? Like,
yeah,
it's like there's someone above them telling them what to do and what to say and how to say it and all that, and it comes off cringe. It doesn't come off as being real at all. And then you've guys like yourself there, and like Kevin and Philip Dwyer and Derek Bloig, and you've fellas that are there and they're saying what they're saying from their heart. Like what I do with my channel is none of it's scripted. It's all from the brain. It's all from the grey matter up above, and it comes out. And like there's yourself as well too. You're sitting here happy to do a stream, and like there's nothing in front of you telling you what to do or say or anything like that. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that's excellent, and you're not going to get that with any politicians. I'm hearing about an awful lot of politicians and canvassers that are running away from doors, particularly these lefties that are just running from doors, and you're seeing the videos as well. And I think that way of like what you're talking about is coming. But when you're talking about Roderick O'Gorman as well too, and I want to get your opinion on it as well, because I've seen what Luke Ming Flanagan has said. Now, he's not someone I'm a big fan of in known certain terms here now, but he's criticising the Gardaí recently, and I have to be honest with you, like I agree, because like you're looking at them saying that they're putting up a mural in some area to gain trust with the locals and the Gardaí, but like you're looking at that and you're saying, well, hang on, guys, you've got Roderick O'Gorman that's doing what he's doing, and there ain't no arrests here when it comes to the government. You know, you've got scandalous corruption happening here, and there's nothing being done. Like, what's your thoughts on that when it comes to the Gardaí? Do you think that they should be the ones to arrest these people in the political sphere, or what?
Yeah, if there's any of them listening, you have to be absolutely ashamed of yourselves what you're at to doing to this country and on your own people that you swore an oath to protect. You ought to be absolutely, you're leaving a legacy of being a traitor to your own country and your own people. Like, everything's documented. That's what these, you don't realise that every one of these is documented, and they will be taken to task by a nationalist government and put in front, and the likes of that bleeding, just see that judge, you know what I'm talking about, Nolan. Absolutely disgraceful. But getting back to what you're saying, yeah, it should be up to them. It should be up to them. They know they're breaking the law. They know they're all criminals and that all. So they're all complicit in my eyes, Ninja. And I say to them every time I see them, these are absolute fucking traitors. I don't know how you sleep at night. I honest to God, I don't know how these people sleep at night, mate. I'd rather starve to fucking death than sell out my own country and my own people for fucking money.
And you've been at a lot of sorry, Fergus, there for coming across you, but you've been at a lot of protests as well too, where you've seen the Gardaí be at the protests and then them sort of pushing people. Or like, what's your view of the situation? Are they pushing people out of the way to put these illegal migrants into these areas? Like, what's happening? Do you know what I mean? What's going on there?
Yeah, so look, it happened in Thornton Lane. It happened the day where nannies and granddads out there, like, you know what I mean, pushing them out of the way. Absolutely, that lady's voice that night will never leave my, it'll never leave your mind. That they just absolutely distraught that she couldn't believe that the police were actually doing this to them in their own country. And like, they've an awful lot to answer for, me. They're overseeing the whole lot of it, the destruction, the plantation, the whole lot. They're overseeing everything, and every one of them has to be held to account.
And the important thing is, like, they don't have to be doing that. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. When someone says, I have to do it, well, if enough of you stood together, I mean, there you are voting 98.7% in no favour of Drew Harris, and yet you're still doing this bidding at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? You've got a Justice Minister in Helen McEntee that's running around saying goofball stuff constantly. And you're looking and you're going, these are the people you're taking orders from. Simon Harris, another fella, a fella you wouldn't pick in a five-a-side. And he's the fella now running the show. Like it's an absolute disgrace. Did you see the video of him the other day where he was shaking his fist and he was looking around? I was like, holy shit. This fella's like, there's something up here. There's something wrong. You know what I mean?
Stop. I think it's just the likes of him. See his voice and that for that car. There's three of them. And they absolutely make me teeth itch. Listen to them. When that's out, I just think, my God, that voice just got fucking through me. I can't stand listening to them, man.
But that's the thing, like, they're not representative of people that well, I mean, look, I say that now, and people that say, well, that's not true, Ninja. They're representative of a certain section of society, is what I'd say. You're kind of D4s, of well, I like to say the parasite class, guys that wouldn't know what a hard day's work is. They wouldn't be able to get their hands dirty or anything like that. Like, these are like, when I'm looking at people on our side of the fence, you're getting fellas that are from trades and all like that, for example, and like, they know what's up. And then, like, they're straight as anything else, like, and they're looking at these fellas and going, hang on here for a sec, Simon Harris, that fella thought that there was 18 COVIDs before the 19th one. What? Do you know what I mean? Like, and you're getting people that are looking at that going, this is baffling. Do you know what I mean? And then he's a guy that dropped out of third level college, third level, I should say, in college, in what was it, French degree or something like that. And he has nothing to his name. No life experience really at all either. Do you know what I mean? It's absurd.
But you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Would you stop? He looked like he got dug up.
Well, he has the posture of a prawn. That's what I keep saying to people. He's hunched over. I don't know. He kind of reminds me of Nosferatu or something like that. You know what I mean? Very strange people that are walking around, like, But anyway, we'll get back to this whole situation. What was your opinion on the Varadkar fella stepping down? What did you think of that? A lot of people have been trying to make out what happened there. What do you think about that whole situation?
We think it's a ploy. We think it's another distraction. Just to usher in more the likes of that hate-speech thing, the WHO pandemic treaty, all that. I think it's just we'll keep him a little bit happy now with the whole thing. We get him out there and make it look like they're doing something. But I mean, look at that corpse that they're putting in, itching to get in there. Looking, what's he done? Ruin women's lives, have innocent children left in agonising pain, waiting for for spinal surgeries and all that. These all have to go in. You know yourself. There's not one of them. Bar Carol Nolan, maybe Matty McGrath at that times, but other than that, they all have to go. But they all have to also have to account for what they've done, going back to 20 and the roll out of the what's in the whole lot. They all have to be held to account, mate.
But that's it. Like, Simon Harris was on record as well too, saying people should be mandated to have all Voldemorts to attend the likes of school, for example. And you're looking at that, you're going, hang on here for a second. Now, an awful lot of people don't know, but I think it's an important thing. Now, Ferg, you'll know, and you might be able to speak a little bit more on it, but his brother Adam Harris is actually CEO of an autism charity. And I think that's quite an interesting situation, how the brother of Simon Harris has become CEO of an autism charity. I think that's something else. Like, what's your viewpoint on that one there? Can I get your view on that?
Yeah, they're all interlinked. It's all follow the money, as I always say, mate. Follow the money. Look at McDonald's, her sister, all in a big farmer. Look at that other yoke, McIntyre's husband with the puberty blockers. They're all interlinked, mate. And it's all money. The root of all evil is money. Simple as that. Only that one bit money orientated. I couldn't give a shit about money. Once I have enough money to put food on the table, have a roof over and clothe my kids and that. That's all I cared about. Other than that, I'm not one bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Materialistic.
Yeah.
Couldn't give a shit, mate. I'm just simple like that. I don't give a shit about money.
And that's a great thing to hear, because I mean, like, these people it's clearly what fuels them. When you're looking at them, like, there's no amount of money. Like, I mean, look, they always say that everyone has a price to do, but these people have named their price because what they're rolling in is absolutely absurd. And like that, as you said as well, the links between things and the generational links. I mean, there you've got Ryan Turbidy's grandfather standing beside De Valera, and you're like, you see Helen McEntee, her father was in politics. You see Simon Coveney's father, he was in politics as well. Both of their fathers have a very similar situation, which is both fellas no longer with us now, but the child took their seat then eventually. And you're like, well, hang on here for a sec. Like, that seems a bit off there, doesn't it? Seems quite weird. There's an awful lot of weird things that happen in this government, and certainly with members of it. But when you look at Leo Varadkar, for example, he's been in government a very long time. And what can you say he's actually done? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, what can we say? If you were a gaffer in a place, if you were a boss in a place for a considerable amount of time, you would be expected to have done something, not amount to absolutely nothing and make people worse off and have a country now that's completely divided. That's
all we've done. We've destroyed it. All he's attributed. His big thing is he got more innocent Irish babies murdered in the womb. That's his big fucking achievement. They're absolute demons, Ninja. Every one of them. They're satanic. In my eyes, they're just satanic. You just look at what they try to bring out in the school curriculums for kids and all that. And now they're even trying to bring it in. I think Jan is doing a new thing on this now as well. They're trying to bring in sex education for primary age children. Like, what child needs to know about that? And that for years and years and years, it was up to the parents to teach children about that, and it's worked for fucking centuries. You know what I mean? So their agenda, I don't know whether I'm allowed to say it, that word in the thing on a P.
Oh, they don't like you talking about that. They like, do you know Greedo from Star Wars? Do you know Greedo from Star Wars? That character, you can fire away with that one. Like hand shot first.
Yeah, I have you. So yeah, well, that's the big pandemic in this world, right? It's all around us. We're surrounded by it. You just have to look what they're letting away with in courts every day of the week. Yeah. Where you lock up an innocent school teacher like Enoch Burke, but you let a scumbag caught with the most disgusting, depraved images and videos of little children being abused, and they get to bounce on suspended sentences. There's no justice in this country, right? They're all the same. We're surrounded by it, lads, and the sooner the better everyone wakes up to it, what's running it and what's running this world, because it has to be stamped out, and stamped out with a big ferocity that'll never rear its head again here. And that's why we're doing this as well. Like, that keeps me up at night. It really does. And the fact that Dorford O'Gorman, the Minister for Children, hasn't come out and uttered one syllable about those children being taken to hotels and what happened to them, the whole lot. The Minister for Children, mate, and he hasn't, not one syllable has he said about it. It's absolutely disgusting.
Is that what exactly is that you're referencing there? Is that the Tusla situation, or is it something else?
No, the Tusla thing.
So when we're talking about that, just when we're talking about that, because I think it's important as well to mention these things. But there was an incident in Kildare, for example, and obviously as well too, it was reported at that stage and at that time that went around. Now you've used the words, from what I can see from the post as well too, the likes of allegedly, which are important words, and other ones as well too, possible and possibly. Like, and people want to jump on that as if you made a claim. You're only being given information, and see, this is the problem, unfortunately, now with how things are. Because we haven't got what we should actually have is we should have a Garda press office or something like that comes out and does statements or something of that sort of ilk when an incident or a grave possible incident has happened, and they should be actually informing people what's going on rather than rumors circulating. That's my personal belief now myself, and I think that that's what we should do. It's something that the Americans do, and I think that that's something that we could, like, we've imported the leftism, unfortunately, but that's something that I think we can take a bit of a page out of our book. But this whole cloak and dagger stuff, I think that's what gets people more, and I think like that as well, when people are seeing and hearing about what's going on, like you said, suspended sentences, people walking in and out of the country, you've got, many people caught with images. You've got people, for example, if you have a look at the guy that the Ballymallow thing and all of that, like you've got a lot of people that have been up to things that you're looking at and saying that's a bit strange there, to say the very least. And all of the allegedly speculatives with those things, but when you're seeing all of that, I think it could be completely curtailed. Any of this, and this is the thing that they all like to play with. They like to play with the uncertainty for people, like what's actually going on. Like what happens with Gript, for example. We think it's this guy who did it, and then it ended up being a different guy. But they were clearly given bad information, whether it was on purpose or whether it was just accidental. Who knows? But I think it's important, and I think that's what people should be asking for. They should be asking for a press office to say, hey, look, you're going to have to make statements here about what's going on. Not this, we're looking for someone. Like, did you see that article where they were like, we're looking for a yellow van? I think it was last week or something like that. There was an attempted kidnapping. We're looking for a yellow van. Okay, have you got a reg or have you got a description of the person driving it? Like, that's absurd to me. Like, what do you think about that when you see stories like that?
Absolutely disgusting. They're just covering, and just for that they cover their narrative and their agenda and the whole lot, and it's vile. It's absolutely vile. Then going back, maybe a man that was he had a bandaged hand. That was the other one, was it? There's a man had gone back a few months ago. That was the description. He has a bandaged hand. What the? It's absolutely the MSM over here. The joke. They're just the propaganda wing of the government. That's all. Yeah. So every system over here has to be scrapped into and just rebuilt from the ground up, and just to make sure that anyone in positions like that. Anyone in positions like that, that first and foremost thought is how we can better this country and how we can better the lives of our countrymen and women and the futures of our children. If you're not that way inclined, fuck off out of it. You're not wanted. You know what I mean? Same with all these little, you know what, with the Palestinian flags, the whole lot. Just go over there. If you feel that strongly about it, go over there. There's not walking around O'Connell Street, which are bit of a shit rag around that bleeding thing and all and shouting about free Palestine. They're doing nothing. So if you feel that strongly about it, go over there.
As I was talking to someone actually recently, and they were mentioning, and what I like to do is with people is I'd like to give them enough time to say silly things, and like I like to say, okay, right, you support Palestine like that, and when do you join the front line? And the look of shock and horror in their face, and they're like, what? And I'm saying, oh no, like you've said there for 5 or 10 minutes how passionate you are about Palestine, and like I'm just wondering when do you go? And it's like that's how I address them, and they don't know what to do. They're like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. But you've talked about for 5-10 minutes passionately, more so than about what's going on here in Ireland. The fact that you can't afford a house, you're living in your man's box room. Like, are you happy about that? But you're advocating for all this sort of stuff, and then you're advocating for the likes of the repeal the 8th and all that, and you're going, oh, I really care about what's happening to Palestinian kids, but you don't care about what's happening to Irish children. So like, what are you talking about? Like, the hypocrisy of it gets me more than anything else. Like, you know what I mean?
It's madness. That was even like that. There was a mate. That was a mate, mine, Kenneth from. I give a big shout out to the lads and ladies from South Dublin. Says now at them just doing phenomenal work, covering things and exposing things up at the looks of that Soyak and Crooksling, up at the thing with Phil, up at the army barracks, the whole lot. I just, you know what? I can't even. I haven't got the words to describe these people and tell you what. They're just absolutely staunch, and all they cared about is the country and their families, and that's just want to do what's right for them. That's all. But yeah, this thing as well. They're Sinn Féin, like my mates got there the other night, and he really knocked on the wrong house. Like, and your man's talking about this and that. Well, what's our policy? What's our thing about open borders and all? Your man hadn't got a clue, like. And then he's talking about there's people around here that can't get a house now, and your man's going, well, my son and daughter can't buy a house, But yet you're advocating to bring in thousands upon thousands of fucking foreign criminals. Like, how's that going to work? I just don't get that thought process. I don't get the mentality. They're just detached from. You just seem to be totally detached from reality. Well, I don't know what it is, Ninja. I don't know what it is with them.
It is absolutely detached from reality, and like you mentioned a couple of the things there earlier on, and you've got the pandemic treaty, and you've got the Fordham, for example, and all of these sort of things that they want to bring in under the hate speech bill as well. They want to bring under the guise of your safety. But these are the same people in the government then that have it, like you said there, an open borders policy that are letting people run in and around the place. Like you see the video the other day of a taxi arriving on O'Connell Street, a Northern Irish reg taxi as well, and letting off 5 Africans. Like, who are they? Where did they come? Do you know what I mean? And that's very, like, again, that's national security threat, isn't it? Like, you don't know who these people are and where they've come from and how they've come here. Clearly from Northern Ireland, obviously, in a taxi, but like, why are they not going through proper means? Why is there no one stopping them? And that's why I think, like, when you're seeing Leo Varadkar talk about no hard border, like, that also make me sort of look at that and go, well, you might have to start thinking about it, because there's someone getting into the UK and then they're moving on to Northern Ireland and they're just making their way down here, and that's unacceptable. It is,
Someone worked it out there. One of the lads worked it out. That taxi fare alone would have cost around 500 quid. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Jeez. And where are they getting that money from?
There you go.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Treasure Island. It's very true. It is 100%. It is. But like, moving on here, Fergus, as well too, because that's very important. That what you've been saying, and you're talking about the immigration levels as well too. And like you're saying about, there's people around the local area that can't afford a house, not that, and that the likes of Sinn Féin are running around with policies that don't fit. Like, when you were talking to people at the protests and stuff like that, what vibe are you getting from people when it comes to the likes of housing? Do you feel like that a lot of people are at their wits' end when it comes to these things, and you see people that are like, that wouldn't have an awful lot that are moving, and they're moving to these protests because they're like, I have nothing else, and I'm seeing people that are coming into the place get something and I'm getting nothing. Is that the vibe that you're getting that's there also?
Yeah, people are done. They're just done, Ninja. You can see the corruption now for what it is, and you can see all these, we don't even do that politics, they're criminals. Absolute criminal cartel and that all. And yeah, they're just sick of it. And honest to God, I can see absolutely massive numbers in the next few months taken to the streets. They really can. Because these aren't stopping, like, they're doubling down all the time. They're not going to stop, lad. Simple as that. They're still earmarking places to put thousands of these in. So it stops when we stop it.
That's it, and I think they haven't expected the backlash that they've gotten. They haven't expected people to turn up to these places either. They've expected it to be just, I suppose, over before anything else happens. Is that the sort of vibe that you've gotten as well too? That like people are turning up to these things and they're going, holy shit. Like, is that way of looking at it too?
When you go to one of these rallies, right, it's a different. It's just come out. You're meeting, excuse me, you're meeting like-minded people that have the biggest hearts, right? And they're not joking you. There's nothing but it's handshakes, it's hugs, it's kisses on the blades. It's that. You know what I mean? It's laughter. There's music. There's song. There's singing, and it's just the best banter. And you come away in that thing just buzzing. You really do, because you're surrounded with so many people. And maybe that is a thing for maybe someone that hasn't been at one, and they do. Like if someone that was their first time at Coolock last week, you'd have been blown away by that. And it'll keep you coming back, and they tell more people, and they tell other people, and then it just grows and grows from there. This isn't going to stop growing, and it doesn't matter what they try to do. This isn't about one person, a few people that are there. There might be a few out all the time at the start, but look at it now. This isn't stopping. Nothing can stop what's coming, and they know that, and that's why they're doubling down. They can do what they want. They can't stop what's coming. They can't stop God's plan for this world either. And good luck to them when they're held to account. That's all I say, because they will be held to account.
I fully agree, and I think that's something that they're definitely showing now. When you're seeing a lot of them scarpering and running for the hills, like you're seeing people, like, I mean, it's something I actually thought was very strange. I saw an article during the week, and they were saying that Simon Coveney was thinking about stepping down, and Leo Varadkar was flirting with the idea of not staying in politics. Now, we all know what's going on there. When these people are moved out, it's like shuffling the cards in the deck. You know, the cards are still there, but you've got a different card at the front of the deck, and that's all they're doing with the likes of Simon Harris. He's just a gomy, as Satirical Soldier likes to say. He's just a gomy that's just there for the time being, and they know what's coming. I mean, you've got guys, and that's why, you know, I suppose you're looking at the likes of Pascal Donoghue and Simon Coveney, who have a lot of experience, and they're two fellas that said no thanks to the leadership of Fine Gael. Like, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, it should, because you've got a gomy like Simon Harris there that's running the show for them, and it's a cringe fest. But like, these people are snakes, and they're waiting for that chance they are, and they're probably waiting for Fine Gael to get a bit more support in the future. It's how they like to do things. But like you're saying, at the protest, it's great to see the vibes that are there, and there's good vibes, nothing but good vibes. And I think that's something that's definitely affected these people on the other side of the fence, because, like you said earlier on, there's vitriol, there's hatred, there's bitterness. And no doubt in my mind, there's a couple of the goofballs that are listening into this stream here now, absolutely fuming that you're able to speak on YouTube, Ferg. Like, it's crazy to think people dislike you that much. And as an extension as well, too, there's loads of people out there that dislike me and this channel for hosting guys on the channel. And to me, that's bizarre, because like, you do your thing, host your own channels and do your own thing with your own people, but what ends up happening is they get little views, they get low amount of likes, and it doesn't get any traction, because like you're saying there, the real world is very important, as well as the social media side of things. And I think what's happened is now, I think people have definitely woken up to what's happening, and they're turning up in numbers in person, which is hugely important. You know, whilst the battle on social media is important, turning up in person is super, super important, and that's something you're a big advocate for, isn't that right, Ferg?
Yeah, we've been all over the country, lads. I won't even name the place, but down to Cork a lot of the time. I have family down to Cork. I always say Jay and Edith, all the lads down there, they're just the soundest bunch of people. They're not shouting, just staunch, yeah. All wanting the same thing. Goes for people all over the country. Yeah, but my whole thing was why I went out so many of the rallies and that. If I wasn't there was less a body. That's what I was thinking. That's the way I was thinking of it at the time. So, and yeah, I don't know. It's just something in me, Ninja. I just have a drive in me about the whole lot of it. I'm not gonna. I know what all these demons are into. Like I can't not go to me God. I go to, you know what I mean, leave this world. I'm not giving it everything I can, everything that's in me, to take back this country and make it safe for my children and guarantee their freedom in all its forms. I couldn't live with myself, and that's why I do what I do. That's why I get out and do something. And it's just in me. It's a drive in me, and there's nothing that'll ever stop it. As Phil said, the thing we done with Mark Atwood, they're gonna have to put a fucking bullet in their heads to stop us, and that's just the end of it. Other than that, and I always say as well, it's impossible to beat someone that won't quit, and I haven't got a fucking ounce of quitting me.
I love the fact that you've just said that, because that was bringing me on to my next point, and it was about the passion. And it's something that, again, I've seen over the last couple of years with yourself and all that. And I mean, like anything, when it comes to these things, when you're talking about politics and people turning up, you're always very aware. And I think our side of the fence is very wary of people when they're doing things, and rightfully so, I think, because you're going to get a lot of people that are going to attempt to infiltrate the whole situation and try to destroy it from within. And I've seen it in American politics, and you can be absolutely sure that they're going to try the same thing over here when they see it working so well. But passion is something that is unique. And when I say unique, it is, you've got Simon Harris, you've got the Helen McEntees of the world, you've got the Leo Varadkars of the world, you've got Micheál Martin as well, too, was another slime ball in my opinion. You've got Eamon Ryan, and these people do not have an ounce of passion, in my humble opinion, about what they're doing. But you guys do, and that's the difference. Those people are being paid to do what they are doing, and you guys aren't. And you've been, as you said there, up and down the length and breadth of the country. You don't have to do that, but that's what you're doing. And I love that passion. And the same with Phil and anybody else that's doing that as well. I have to tip my hat to you, because it's phenomenal stuff. And that is what bothers them, like the mainstream media. And we'll talk about that now in a sec, how politicians and mainstream media have attacked you yourself. But that's why they can't compute it. They're like, this guy is not getting paid to come around and go to these places. And then they want to have some sort of go with you because you are going to these different places. But they have a state broadcaster that's able to talk shit to people all over the country 24/7. But they have an issue with you going around to a different county. I think it's absurd. So we'll talk about the mainstream media, and then we'll get on to, well, I suppose you should start with politicians first. There's a couple of politicians, and I wanted to bring this up because some people don't know when they're watching these streams or channels or anything like that. But politicians have said things about you in the Dáil. Can you tell people what has been said and what you thought about those things that were said about you?
Yeah. That little commie wet wipe, Pauline Murphy, I call him. Yeah, Paul Murphy, he's a TD, a sitting TD in the Dáil. Basically, he used his Dáil privilege to basically say that me, I can't take back now, it was myself, Phil, I think Mick, Gavin, and Derek, I think at the time, he tried to blame us on inciting the riots. And then he used his Dáil privilege again and basically quieted us. It was all the fires that were going, oh, look, they show up at the thing, and then the next night it's set on fire. Basically pointing the finger at us for setting fires. Like, he's an absolute disgrace. So I won't even call him a man. He's not a man. He's a disgrace. That's all he is.
There was an insinuation there for sure, in my view, in my humble opinion. And when you said wet wipe about Paul Murphy, I wouldn't agree with you there now, because, you know, wet wipes are useful. Paul Murphy's as useful as a chocolate teapot, is what I would say. So that might be might be a better way to go about it, huh?
He's about as useful as an ashtray in a motor week.
I absolutely love what you do. That's fantastic. But yeah, you've got Paul Murphy, who's confused about the gender of his own child, as someone that's trying to point the finger at other people. But to me, that sounds and smells like fear. Is that the way you pick? Like, okay, we take the emotional side of it out at the moment, because I think obviously you would feel quite annoyed, and rightfully so, about those sort of things being said about you. But when you take the emotional side out of it, like, do you look at that and say to yourself, well, that's a TD standing up in the Dáil that's clearly afraid of me, because they're thinking that could be a seat gone?
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt, without a shadow. It's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of desperation. And they know, no one's voting for these again. No one's ever going to vote these little commie rats in again. They're gone. Same as I want. I couldn't stop laughing at Sinn Féin last night. I'm at Sinn Féin going around the flats and getting absolute lacko. You know what? It was brilliant. But look, there's an old thing that bang up a while ago. They're not going to be able to walk down the streets, these people. They won't be able to walk down the streets, and rightly so, for what they're doing to this country, and the amount of children they're jeopardising by what they're bringing into this country. And they're not fucking, come here and tell you, doctors and surgeons, the only surgeons I ever seen use scalpels. They don't use machetes.
You've got people coming into the country for sure, and they're telling you that they're doctors, engineers, and surgeons and all that, and you're like, okay, let's equate. Well, you can you can look this up as well too. What are the average IQs of the places that these people are coming from? Like, are they high or what? And an awful lot of the time, funny enough, they aren't. And you know, you've got people walking into the country, then they're not. And I mean, here's the thing: like, people that are on this side of the fence, I think, like, what was happened for the longest time is We've dealt with legal immigration for a very long time. And look, there's YouTube channels as well too. And again, same thing, and this boils my piss, something terrible it does, but they're in existence. There's YouTube channels here on YouTube that are actually like from people that are from Africa and people that are from India, documenting on YouTube how you can get into this country. It's actually absurd. Then you've got Roderick O'Gorman then as well too, who's put out tweets in what was it, 8 languages as well too, inviting people into this country. And now they're turning around going, oh, we have a housing crisis because you did it. And that's the beauty of social media, and that's the beauty of like what you're saying there, Ferg, people running them out of the likes of the flats and all that. You know, big shout out to the flats, by the way, because once you don't deceive those people, you just don't. Like, they're as straight as it comes. They know what's going on. And to see Sinn Féin, and funny enough that you say that, you bring up the Sinn Féin cancer. Mary Lou took a photo up in one of the flats there yesterday, I think it was, the day before. And I put in, like, you know, how many doors we ran away from. And I saw another comment then from one of the fellas that was actually canvassing with her, and he was saying that he was knocking around the house and got a great reception. And there was someone there that was like, no, you didn't. You just got told where to go. And then the video started to emerge of people going, get the fuck out. And I was just like, oh, this is great. Like, this is brilliant. And what's happening now is those videos are going up around. It's been like whack-a-mole, like what you're saying there as well too about yourself, Philip, and Derek, and various others that are there, Mick O'Keefe as well, that have been, it's been like whack-a-mole where people have tried to attack you guys, and then it's like more people have joined the fray, and they're like, now you have to contend with Ferg, you have to contend with Philip, Derek, you've got Mick, and about 500 other individuals that are running around showing what's going on. You know, Satirical Soldier as well too, another one as well too, big shout out to him, and Toby as well too, that's on Twitter. Like, these guys have gained a big following and are showing what's going on. And not only them now, like places like the Liberal and Grip Media and all are actually showing what's going on and letting people in on what's happening. So seeing Sinn Féin run from doors, like, I'm going to get your opinion on it rather than give mine, because I suppose people know my view on it, but like, are Sinn Féin are they the ones to have turned on the people and for people to wake up finally to everything that's going on? Would you share that belief, or what do you think there?
Yeah, without a doubt. They were supposed to be the party for the people, the Nationalist Republican Party, whatever. Like, they're the furthest thing from it, mate. They're absolute fake. They're communist, they're Marxist, full of bleeding perverts. They're not for Ireland, they're not for this country. And it's just like, even around here, Ninja, like around Ballyrick was staunch. I mean, bleeding staunch Sinn Féin. And they're done. I mean, they're absolutely done. So, there's a lot of families around here that would have been very Sinn Féin orientated, and every one of them's done. You can see right through them. So, I don't know how much longer it's going to last for them. We can't see it lasting much longer. Do you think yourself they're going to get in, or what? Like, what's your view on it?
No, I actually think what's going to happen, I think other parties, I think particularly like the likes of Fianna Fáil are probably delighted with how things are panning out at the moment, because like they're sort of like in the background and no one's really minding what they're doing. And the Greens are sort of hanging around. They're happy to be where they are. Like, I mean, it's like, I suppose the way to look at it, it's like a fella who's a 2 scored an 8, you know what I mean, on a night out. He's absolutely thrilled to be there, and he's just going, yeah, you're having a good time. And they know that they're out on their arses come the next one. But I think Fianna Fáil are standing there now, and they're realising that there's some political momentum behind them. Sinn Féin have absolutely gone to the dogs. And what's happened is, as well, you've got Mary Lou McDonald and everything that's come out about Sinn Féin, like the likes of the fact that her brother now thinks he's a woman. That's a fact, by the way, guys. If you don't believe that, look it up. That's what's going on. You're seeing the leftism policies going on. You've seen Angus O'Snowdick tell potential voters to go and fuck off. You've got Ono Brun, who's been caught in video, doesn't know what a woman is. Like, you've got all of these instances. You've got them Mary Lou McDonald hanging around with your woman Rashida Tlaib over in America. Have a look at what she's been saying about white people in particular. It's banana stuff. It's bananas, it is. And what's going on is more people have seen it. They've seen Mary Lou and the gang turn up to the likes of Muslim festivals wearing the hijab and then turning around in June and waving the rainbow flag. It's totally contradictory. It's hypocritical is what it is. And I think when people see that, they're like, hang on here for a sec. Where, like, when you're consistent on one side, I think people will move over it. What do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be a free-for-all, really, when it comes to an election. I think there's going to be a lot of independents that are going to get in. I'm hoping to see, a nationalist party get in. I'm hoping to see more candidates run where Ireland forced. I'm looking and seeing what Irish Freedom Party are doing as well, too. I'm liking that. And here's the thing. My view is this, and I know a lot of people would say, oh, well, Ninja, like, you're thinking one way and saying another. I'm open to giving people a go, like the Irish Freedom Party. I'm open to people that are independents, giving them a go, because the rest of them have shown you. They have shown you unequivocally that they are not going to do good for you. And every single time they try and walk it back, do you know, like they try and say to you as if they're sweet talking, listen, baby, like we're not gonna fuck you this time, but next time we're gonna get you. Like, but right at the moment, we're gonna behave ourselves. That's the feeling I get from all of these politicians all of the time. And my view is, get people in there that are interested and are going to do something for us going forward. And like I said it about a year or two ago, I did here on this channel, Ferg, we need fellas and ladies that need to be going in there, and like people like you said there from the flats going, here, what the fuck are you talking about? And they go to these meetings, these big meetings, and they have a strong spine. These people that are in government now have shown you consecutively that they've no spines. We don't need that anymore. We don't need these spineless cowards. That's my view. So where do I think we'll see things in the next couple of months? I think it's a surge in independence. Especially, I think what's going to really set people off is, like you've seen it on Twitter as well, Ferg, you've got Ukrainians, you have Africans running in elections here in Ireland. Like, that should be a complete and utter trigger for you to go, right, I'm going for it.
Yeah, big time. So give a shout out. You mentioned Kevin Coyle there earlier on. He's a good mate of mine, Kev. He, very, very passionate man. And his heart's in the right place. And I think he'd do brilliant for Coolock. He's running a certain area. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but Kev's doing like certain areas of Coolock, and then GT is actually running as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, GT stepping up. He's running in the other parts of the LEA out there. I'm not sure what the district is, whatever. But yeah, fair play to the lads. And there's more and more. There's the Irish Party as well. Give a shout out to the lads. They're running all independents. And there's Rod DeSalle. He's actually had to stepping up there today now in Sligo. He's going to run. And every day there's usually more and more people stepping up, Ninja. So it's only a positive thing. Change is definitely come here. I don't even like using that. That's that bleeding Marilyn McDonald, isn't it? Change. Well, there's big things on the horizon for Ireland, I think, and positive things. You can only get better from where we are. You know what I mean? You might have to get a little bit worse before it gets better, but we'll get there in the end. I truly believe that. I think there's more and more people stepping up and showing that they haven't got any fear of this anymore, and it's a wonderful thing to witness and be a part of. I have to say, it really is very. I say to people, like, I try to stay in a very positive mindset, even with everything going on, all the shit that gets thrown at you on a daily basis, man, all the evil out there. Like, you have to try and stay positive, because if you let that get in you, you're done. You know what I mean? Because there really is a disgusting level of evil that surrounds us, and it has to be, the whole lot of it has to be. I just want to be a part of that generation that stamps this all out.
But that's what's heartwarming about the housing, Ferg, is that, like, we are seeing good people step up, and like that as well. You're seeing people that are putting themselves forward, because we have seen so much badness, and like exactly like you're saying. I mean, I'm just echoing it here. Like, you've got people now that want this future. They don't want their kids being enslaved essentially to a complete and utter debt for their entire life, and not being able to buy their own homes, not being able to live their lives. Like, people are right to be doing what they're doing, which is they're saying enough of this. Like, we're not taking these snake oil salesmen anymore, and we're not listening to them, and we're not doing what they want or doing their bidding. Like, these people that are in government forget that they are there to do the bidding of the people, not the other way around, and they have forgotten that. But it seems to be a point in time now where people have gotten together and said, right, we've definitely had enough of this. And when you see the previous elections, and I think this is what gives me an awful lot of hope, and has done for the last few years, you see these people like Simon Harris there, 15th count. I'm just going to say that again, 15th count. That absolute fucking creep got in on the 15th count, and he's up there and he's giving you a going, well, guys, I'm going to, we're going to put Ireland back on the map, and there'll be no draping of a flag over someone. And I'm looking at him going, this fella is inspiring confidence in nobody, and certainly not me. Like, you're not fooling me, and you're not going to fool the person that's in the flats. You're not going to fool the person that's out in Ballybrack. You're not fooling the person in Tala. Those little snippets are over. They're finished. Nobody cares anymore. And they're going, right, who's been standing up for my area for the last couple of weeks and years and months and that? Well, they see someone that's stepping up like Kevin Coyle, and they're going, great, we'll vote for him. And that's what you need to do, in my view. You need to be voting people in, giving them a go, and letting them see how things go on. It's not going to be perfect, I don't think. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think everything is going to hit the ground running immediately. But what's important is that people stick together and they stay in numbers. And it was something that me and Ferg were talking about before the show. I was talking about people need to be sitting together and going, right, Dublin, the entirety of it, and not only that, other counties as well. People need to be strategically sitting down and going, right, I'm going to run here. Are you running there? No, I'm not running there. Grand, I'll run here. And they'll run in these areas and take the seats off these people. Because that's what they do. They sit down together and they say, right, are you running there? And you running Fergus? No, you're not. Okay, grand, we'll run there. Are you running up there now in Dunleary? Oh, no, you're not. Okay, we'll run there. And that's what needs to be going on, you know. And I don't know what your feeling is on that, Fergus. Like, what's your thoughts on how things are going to shake out?
No, I think you're right, mate. You have to strategize, and there's no point in running candidates in the same area that just up against each other. You know that way. It has to be thought out. It has to be a process. It's the same way they do it. Come here. We said that I'm your boy. I'm not a politician. My hand got forced into this, right? And I'm just one of those people. I can't sit back and look at it going on. It has to. You know what I mean? I never like bullies. I always stood up to them. It's just not in me to sit back and look at people getting treated that way. Your own people, like, and these absolute monsters in suits, jeopardising all their children's futures, all their safety, all their freedoms. So now, the more and more people that stand up, I applaud everyone that stands up, and the more the better, me. And I think it really is coming. Even last night, not joking, like, I don't know, many people come up to me last night talking about running as an independent out at the Cabin's place there last night. And it's absolutely, it's a lovely thing to witness and to see, like, people actually losing that sense of the sense of fear, or the sense of doubt. As I said last night, and I said it there today again, look, I'm not going to do a worse job what these are doing, right? These are hell-bent. They're set out to destroy this country, to destroy us as a race. And we need everyone that has it in them to stand up now and help and just join together and take it back.
Can you explain to people as well that haven't seen what is going on? What do you mean by the cabins? What's happening there?
There was like a place out on the nice road there, Cabins Ireland. The lads out South Dublin says now, big shout out to them again, Ninja. I'm not joking, like the stuff that these guys have done, and it's a pleasure to be a part of that group. The stuff that they've uncovered and the whole lot is just phenomenal, and they're at it every day of the week. Like, they don't stop, they're relentless, and it's what you need in this battle. But basically, yeah, there was and your mum's a local guy apparently. Supposed to be selling log cabins and this and that outside there. Yeah, they had them stuffed to the gills with undocumented foreign criminals. So the lads uncovered it, and they went up to the owner, and they gave him a notice. They handed in a notice that the locals might having it around there. So they went in there last night. The whole lot. I think as far as I know, they're gone. They're done. So that's the way to do it.
And you're seeing that in the cabins then, and you're seeing what's happening in the city centre also, where they have them tent city, and then you see them be moved out then to, where was it, Wicklow was it, that they were moved out, and they were all trying to walk back then, trek back then, and put the tent town back into town. Like, we're living in absurd times when you see politicians that just won't do the sensible and right thing, and it's on purpose. I mean, look, you see what's happening in America, it's the very same thing that's happening over here, where you have weapons coming into this country, and that's the thing. Like, this is what it is. You're dealing with people, weapons, and that's what they intend to do. They intend to unleash these people upon you, and so that they have a lot of people fighting amongst themselves and having an issue. Like, I think what's happened here in Ireland, what's happened is people have turned it much quicker towards a political activism side, and they've turned it more towards political aspirations, which is frightening the shit out of a lot of these people in the establishment, because they're like, we thought people would just fight with these people in the tents. But people are overlooking that now, and they're like, right, we're going in and we're running an election and we're going to clean this up. We're not having it anymore. And everything that these people have done is reversible. I think that's a huge thing that's important. You know what I mean? Anything that you sign in or try to do, like, it's all reversible. You can take it away as fast as these people have put it in. And what I want to move on to next is, Ferg, you've been talking about elections. You're actually someone that's going to be running an election. Can you tell people about the area that you're running in and why you're running and how you're going to run, essentially?
Yeah, basically, I live in Ballybrack, but I had to get information out of the council there myself the other day. The LEA is, from my area, it goes under Killiney, Shankill. So I have a few more houses to cover, but I have a lot of family and have relations and all in Shankill. I have a lot of friends in Shankill. I grew up there. My mum and dad still lives there. So I spent a lot of my youth in Ringsend as well. That was my out stomping ground, out in the flats out there. Huge family out there. But it's just like I said, my boy out Ninja, hand gets forced into this. Like, someone had to tell me a few years ago, Fergus, you'll be running for the local elections now in 2024. Will you go on now with that and put down that bottle or whatever you're bleeding taking? I wouldn't. You know what I mean? It's just the times. What's had to happen? What's been forced on us the last few years? Like, people are sick of it. I'm sick of it, and I'm not having it. I'm not having it from my area, my community, me people, and me children, and my family, my wife, and the whole lot going forward. So I'm gonna do everything I can. I learn as I go. Why not? I don't fucking know. I don't know the ins and outs of the whole lot, but I learn as I go. And I think what's first and foremost, once you have that in your heart and your soul, that all you want to do is better your country, your community, and make lives better for the people around your area, I don't think you'll go far wrong, mate.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. And like you're saying there, you're going to cover a more area, which is very important, obviously, because the more houses you get around and the more people will get to know you. And a lot of the time as well, what's happening is, and what has happened in previous elections, I think, is people have seen a familiar face on the ballot and they go, yeah, that's grand, that'll do. Do you know what I mean? They're not even looking sometimes at the policies, and that's the important part of it in my view, like, you know. And I'll get you to name your policies now in a sec, but I think it's very important that you get around, because like you're seeing the videos of people being ran from doors, like I think a lot of people here in Ireland feel the same, and while not everybody's going to be that way where they're going to run these lefties from the doors, like they're definitely feeling it and they're definitely thinking it. So seeing you at the door, or seeing like Gavin Pepper at the door, or seeing Derek Bloig or Philip Dwyer at the door, there's going to be so many people that are going to be welcoming to those guys. Am I expecting people that are not going to be welcome? Absolutely. But you guys there absolutely know your facts, you know your figures, and you're able to give it back then to people. And I definitely think you'll win more people over that are not on social media. And that's why it's important to come on to streams and do things like this, so that people get to see it. There might be people here tonight that are going, geez, I didn't even know this guy was running in my area. Yeah, I'll have a bit of that, you know what I mean? And that's hugely important. So moving on then, I'm going to say to you then, like, what are your policies? What are the, like, for example, when I'm asking you this, it's like, I've seen your leaflets and I like them. And what I want to do is want to get people to know from you, from the horse's mouth, what's being said on the leaflet. So what are the policies that you have down on the leaflet?
Immigration is the main one for the start, is because that just, it has a knock-on effect on everything in my eyes. It really does. Like, there has to be mass deportations here. There has to be people getting looked into. The likes of them Romans and the whole that, they're only over here on the gravy train. They're doing nothing but standing around town all day, yapping and robbing people and the whole lot. But immigration is the main one. The next one's housing, obviously. 3 generations of people in the same, bleeding, even more in the same houses around here. That's all over the country. It's not just here. Health. It's an absolute joke. Okay, I'll give you a laugh, right? When that happened to me last July, when the police stood all over me, I had to go and get an X-ray in my back. Right, I have a thing with my back, and anyway, it's actually congenital, but I didn't get found out till later on in life. But I was born with a certain thing in my spine. But what you call it? Yeah, I went to, which I never do. I don't go as a real. I fucking hate going near doctors. I hate going near bleeding hospitals. My head had to be hanging off. I had to be dragged there at that. Yeah. So what was it? Yeah, I actually had to ring my GP. I had to try and get physio. Right. So that was last July. Then when I got seen, when I got my first round of physio.
Man.
From last July, last week.
That's absurd.
Last week, yeah. So this is my whole thing, Lindsay, and this is what I'm going on, right? I want, and it's on my boy out of how you can read it. As long as there's one solitary Irish homeless person on the street, no one from another foreign country gets looked at or looked over an Irish person. Simple as that. At local level, the same. I want to make sure all the people around my area get looked after first. So if I do get enough out, I tell you, I say they're rattling down that county council down the lady if I get in down there. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to absolutely, I will uncover. I'm not joking. I can't wait. If I do, I'm going to shake an awful lot of stuff up down there. And anyway, and I'll reveal a lot what's going on, because they tell the corruption is absolutely through the roof, and it goes from the Dáil into them county councils, the whole lot. There's not one of these. I can show you a thing there tonight. They're all for this open bar, and they're against the far right. I have a thing there. Someone sent it to me from Dullery Rathdown County Council, and it's a statement about migration and what you call it, and the view on the far right. So listen, we have a mountain to climb, but as I said, there's no quitting us. So I'm actually relishing it. I really am. I'm looking forward to now. But I'm actually can't wait to get out and start getting around the doors now on Monday. Well, hopefully these things these are done by Monday for me, and we start getting around and talking to the people that aren't on the likes of this and aren't on social media, and having a little chat with them and saying what's what and giving them an option. People need an option. Right? Yeah. You have to let people know that they have another option here. Someone that is absolutely adores this country and is going to do nothing but put the people from the area first. I don't see how you can go wrong.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you. And I mean, it's crazy to think, and like you said as well too. Like, there's a couple of years ago, you wouldn't have been someone that would have ran for an election, and now here you are. You wouldn't have ever imagined that, but like that's because the hand has been forced, and you've seen it yourself. I mean, I saw a video there the other day. I think it was Philip Dwyer that was interviewing a woman, and unfortunately, Philip has been removed from YouTube because he was doing excellent reporting. Right. And he was interviewing a woman. Was that the woman's name? Or did you say great stuff? Sorry.
No, sorry, you were saying disgraceful that you got removed, mate. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, it's shocking. It is like, and that's very evocative and indicative of this platform. But he's speaking to a woman, and she was talking about her relative, which we'll just say, and the relative is a GP, and they were talking about GP visits used to be 10 minutes. They're now taking at least 20 because people have to Google Translate things to these people, and you're like, that's such a simple problem that causes such a big backlog then for everybody else. Dental appointments, the same thing as well. I've heard an awful lot of people that haven't been able to get a doctor's appointment for like weeks on end, and dental appointments as well too have become very similar. So that's all an issue that has been brought forward and more to the fore. We already had a bad health service. If anyone that wants to pretend like we had a great health service, like, you're absolutely living in cuckoo land. But it's been brought to the forefront even more so now over the last couple of years due to the immigration. Housing is another thing that's intrinsically linked to immigration. If you have people coming in, the supply and demand then changes completely than what it would have done beforehand, where you just had your own people looking for these things, looking for houses and apartments. But they are all linked, and like you're saying, Ferg, like you were talking about the injury that happened. Can you, and just linking back to that then, because these things are all definitely policies that people want to see implemented, which is a strict and harsh border and deportations that need to be happening, because that will fix an awful lot of our problems. When you were talking about that incident at the protest, can you tell us what happened? Because if I'm not mistaken as well too, the main guard that was there is actually the brother of golfer Padraig Harrington. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, Fergus Harrington, superintendent, instigated the whole thing. I was actually mad. Gripped were out there covering that, right, that night when that happened. So I had gone up to him. I got a phone call off a friend of mine to say, Ferg, the atmosphere's totally changed up here, man. The atmosphere, the whole lot. There was like treble the presence of Gardaí. I don't know, many vans, public order vans they were scattered all over the place, Ninja.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, in Ballybrack in the village, yeah. So I went up, I had me phone out, and I went up to Harrington and some other game standing beside him, and I asked him, said to him, what are you threatening peaceful people for? You're gonna arrest them, going against our roads, our constitution, blah blah blah, the whole lot. I says, we're constitutionally protected to gather peacefully and whatever. So he was saying, if you go out on the road, you're getting hit with a Section 8, blah blah blah, the whole lot. So Gripper there, one of the girls from Ballybrack, a big shout out to all the men and women of Ballybrack, absolutely staunch around here. I'm telling you, absolutely brilliant community. But Margaret, one of the girls, was talking to Fatima and Gripped, and she actually said it. If anything happens here tonight, it's because of the Gardaí. She was actually sitting on her own, on a little wall on her own, and they come over, move, blah blah blah. She says, "No, I'm in my own village." She goes, "I'm not. Get up now. You're going to get arrested." This is Harrington, right? And once he seen, she was up talking with Gripper there. When he seen the camera, he sent up an apology and all. He said, sorry about that, blah blah blah. Sit there if you want, type of thing. But I done an interview with them, and it was over one side of the road, and the Gardaí come over. You have to move. So we went over. They moved us over one side of the road. That was that. And then Fatima asked me to do an interview, so I done an interview with her. And then they come over again to move us again. And she actually copped it. She says, what do you use that? Like, so you're after getting the people to move already. And now you're coming up. It's like you're instigating things. So she actually said it to them. It's like you're instigating things here. So we done a little walk around the whole lot. I came back down. Yeah, man, there was a few of them standing on this side. My mother-in-law, Theresa, was standing on, she's in that video, standing in front of me. And he goes, I had a key or something. I was giving her the key that I had or something like that. And then as I walk back, he goes, I thought I told you to go out the other side of the road. I said, I'm going now. So it was da whatever. But he didn't realise, Ninja, I had the body cam strapped to the loop of my belt, right?
Right.
And I was picking up everything. So he turns around, he goes to me, I'd be only too happy to arrest you. I have that now on audio, right? I says, oh, would you? And here's me, did you hear that, Therese? He'd only be too happy to arrest me. And with that, he grabbed me, he grabbed my arm, tried to grab the flag at me. And then he called in the other bunch of goons in.
It's we've seen the video here online beforehand, and people, you can find it. It's still up there. It is, but it's actually a shocking situation, and a lot of people moved themselves in and very quickly in uniform, and that had followed on from an incident that I think I'm not sure if I'm correct when I say this, but there was a video anyway. I don't know who recorded it, is what I mean by that. I think it was Gavin Pepper, or it might have been someone that was around. I'm not sure again, but there was actually a guard that was there, and he had a gun. And people went over and they're like, "What are you doing here? Like, why are you here? And why is that visible? Like, what's the plan?" And it was definitely, in my opinion, it was very intimidatory. And you know what my mind goes to is sensible stuff, which is, why are these people not at the border acting like this? Why are these people not pulling lads out containers that are trying to sneak into the country? Why are they not acting like that there? But they're more than happy then to do it to our own people, and that's what gets me, and that's why a lot of people don't give them an awful lot of support, and they aren't big fans of them anymore, because they look at what's going on as it is, and they see corrupt politicians, they see politicians hanging around the likes of the Forum, and you're going, that's bizarre. Then you see what's happening here with various criminals running around the streets, and there's no interest in apprehending them at all. And now I say that as well, and I suppose that's a bit tongue-in-cheek, because obviously there's someone out there doing something at some time, because it's not like completely lawless here, but it's very close to being very lawless. But they have loads of energy for guys like you to be putting you on the ground and ripping you out of place there as if you're some sort of thug, which is nothing further from the truth, because like anytime I've spoken to you, you're a nice guy, and anything I've ever seen has been that you're a nice guy, and everyone's spoken about you in that sense. And even if you weren't a nice guy, Ferg, you're one of our own. And what I would say is, where is that energy for people that are rocking into the place causing bother? It doesn't seem to be there at all.
Honestly, don't know. It's gas. They only seem to get the big numbers of Gardaí when the so-called the imaginary far right are in town, or you have the Guard ATM machines. That's the only reason you see big numbers of Gardaí out. Other than that, look at the crimes all over the shop, lads. They're not doing their job. They're spent for, like, I don't know. The worrying thing, and as I said, the field there before, and a big shout out to Phil the Word as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know what? What a man. I'm telling you here now, he's like, what an Irish man, an absolute patriot. And tell you one thing, he fucking bleeds green, the man. But yeah, Ninja, I don't know. Yeah, what was I going to say? The scary thing is, like, the ones that have left are obviously the ones that had a conscience. So what are we left with now? Like, the ones that are going to just go on the orders of that PSNI plant that shouldn't be here either.
I think that's an interesting point there, because I think for sure, like, there's definitely an element of that. Like, I mean, you know, you look at, say, for example, the American military over the last few years, where they scared people out of it by not taking Voldemort, you know, and they were left with a very negative, wholly negative force that were just basically order followers, from what I could see. And then, you know, I mean, look, some people are in there and some people got caught, and look, it is what it is. But now they're asking for people to come back. So, like, I'm like, that's pretty disjointed now, that way of thinking, because if anybody's coming back with any sort of viewpoint of like, hey, I was cast out before, surely you're not looking at the current administration and saying that's a positive. And the same with the Gardaí. Like, when you're seeing them up in the age, was it now 35 and over, I think you can be now to apply and join the Guards. They're going to direct provision centres as well too, doing little talks. You're seeing various individuals running around. Like, there was an article that was put out there by Kilkenny People, I think it was, .ie. They swiftly took it down, from what I understand. But guess what, guys? I have a video coming out on it. And they had a guy, and he was Senegalese, I think it was. Or Sudanese. Excuse me there. I was incorrect when I said Senegalese. Sudanese. And they're like, local Kilkenny man is now in the Gardaí with heritage from Sudan. No, that's an African. Like, what are we doing here? Like, and that's what you have now. You're going to see more of. And you're seeing, and listen, I got contacted by someone there last week, and they said they have some very specific images of leaflets that were given out to them within their profession. And it was promoting the likes of DEI. Now, what is that? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. So basically, if you're white, you're out. You're done. And this is something that's been promoted within a very large job. So there's a video coming on that, and I'm going to be sharing some of the stuff here with Ferg, obviously, and Mick O'Keefe as well, so that people know what's going on. But it's outrageous stuff that's occurring here in this country. So we've got a big battle ahead of us, is what I will say. But I do think it's beatable, and you obviously feel the same then, Ferg.
I totally down in. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be down and down. I didn't think this was winnable. But definitely gonna win it. It's just my outlook on this as well. Like the last few years, even what happened in America and Trump and the whole lot, the elections and the state he had that country in before that happened. Like, and look about this. I don't even want to call Biden. He's a bleeding stuff. But, I just think that. I think that this had to, like, everything had to get exposed to wake up everyone in this world to the level of evil that's running it, mate. That's the only way you can explain it. I think everything had to unfold and come out the way it has and been exposed. Look at even this thing with your man Diddy and all coming out. Like, I think this year, I said it to Laurie, my wife, it will absolutely tell you, best thing ever happened to my life for me children. We're saying to her there New Year's Eve, this 2024 is going to be just madness what's going to come out this year, and it's going to open up so many eyes and blow people's minds as well. The likes of the normies, as they call them, like, to see what's running this world and what's going on in it. It's going to absolutely, I'm telling you it now as well, right? Going down the line and in the future, we're going to have to put some money in this country into mental health. They've destroyed children. Maybe 2 generations of kids, like the way they're going on, the whole lot. I'm looking at stuff. Something come on that night. Someone showed me a clip of something. It was 4 states or something like that, Ireland. I'm not joking. I mean, what they're pushing on it's absolute madness. That's the only way I can explain it. It's absolute fucking madness. People think they're a half a cat and then a bleeding jam jar that I'm identifying as this today or that today. I'll cut this off, I'll cut that off. It's just that has to be sorted out. There's a lot of children out there that need our help.
And I don't know how you say it there, Ferg, but in all seriousness, like, it is a very serious issue. And like you said, I think personally myself, I'm someone that doesn't watch an awful lot of TV at all, really, and that has like any of those messages on it, bang, it's gone. Would you find yourself that you would be drawn back towards more older media? Like, what do you potentially watch now yourself? Like, are you, I suppose what I would say is, like, are you more keenly aware now of this stuff when it's entertainment wise, or would you view it before you would let anybody else younger view it? Like, what would your way of doing things be?
No, you don't really. My house, you don't watch a lot of bleeding telly, is it? We homeschool the kids. We've done that for years. The 2 lads and that, they're sharp as tacks. I do have to laugh about the whole the social aspect, and they won't hang around. They make friends everywhere they go. Yeah, they're sharp as tacks. My little one's an absolute cracker. We had a thing for her out, and it was our birthday on St. Patrick's Day. She was 9. We had a thing out in St. Anne's Park. We had a get together out there. Brilliant. Big shout out to Lindsay Mooney and Aidan as well. Absolutely. And Eugene, that helped set her up, and all the lads out there, and Cheeky. They're just absolutely, you know what? And I hate saying people's names. I don't like leaving people out either, because I've met that many people, I'm not shouting it, and they're like family now to me. They're absolute headers, you know what? And just with the biggest hearts, and never say die attitude, and that's what's going to take this country back. Just you laugh in the face of it. See this adversity and evil, how get up and fucking laugh in the face of it and slag it, take the piss out of it, and just use your Irishness. And see that as well. See that I'm in a group, right? I'm in a WhatsApp group, and it's all lads from Dublin and Southside said now. And I'm not joking, you're ever down, like, you'll never beat Dublin. Irish with, right, but Dublin in my eyes, you'll never beat a Dublin with. Simple as that. No, and it's just that, like, we've had that much shit thrown at us, and we're still standing here, mate, and we're not going anywhere. And they are rattled. They've never had a collective pushback like this. Never had it. So they can drag my name through the paper, they can fucking do what they want. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm going to see this out to the bitter end, no matter what has to be done.
Something that you said there, and I wanted to just point it out there, was you said about homeschooling, and I think I want to just expand on that point. That's a super interesting one, it is. And when I say that, because like people are looking at what's going on in the curriculums in schools, they're looking at what they're trying to push into the curriculum. I mean, Roderick Gorman's out there openly talking about what he wants to put in, and this, like, you're a guy that's actually not engaging in the traditional sense, as I would say, probably. I don't know, traditional should be the right word that should be used. I suppose the homeschooling is more traditional, but you're not engaging in like schooling as such as them going to school. And I think that's something that, you know, a lot of people forget that generations ago, that's what people did. They schooled their own children. They did this whole like viewpoint on people that homeschool, I think, is absolutely bizarre, considering the fact like you guys have so much influence then, and I think which is hugely important in the world that we live in now, that there's so many other people. When you leave the house, you know, when you're a kid and you leave the house, you're under the influence of someone else that's around. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was lucky to have parents that were always around, and I think that's I think it's a big key factor as to why I am the way I am, and you're obviously the very same. So, you know, those kids, your kids are very lucky kids, and they should know that, and I believe they will. And when I'm talking about homeschooling there, like what happens there? Can you expand upon that point for our people? Can you tell them what happens?
Basically, once you do it, you take them out of mainstream education. After 6 months, this is the thing that bleeding annoyed me as well. I didn't even realise back in the day what these are all about. You have to get in contact with Tusley, right? So they have to send people out to check out the setup you have in the house, the whole lot. They'll interview the kids, they'll have a little chat with the kids, they'll interview the parents just to see what way they're going to do things and all. But yeah, they came out years ago, like, and there was two Elvins come out and basically said that it was just the two lads at the time. So basically, they said that they've never seen kids getting a higher level of education at home than they were receiving. Like, yeah. But look, they think outside the box. They're funny. They're not joking. They're crack. We have them. Come here. We're not the fucking Van Traps or anything like that. We have our moments. We have our moments. But I couldn't have wished that. I couldn't have prayed for a better family. My wife has just, I don't know where to be only for that. Glory, she's just absolutely amazing. And my kids, I live and breathe for them. And
I love that way of thinking. I do, Fergus. That's a lovely way to put it as well, because I think when, you know, a lot of people are now living lives and working jobs that they're forcing themselves to go to so as to pay off this, that, and the other. And I mean, I love the fact that you guys are putting your time and effort into your kids. I mean, that's something else. And I think a lot of people need to be doing the very same then themselves. Like this whole thing with curriculums, it's like my old fella said, like when it came to the likes of the masks and skills, he was just like, if you were in school, he said, you would have been whipped out. He was like, there's no other way. Like, he says, you wouldn't be sent to that. He says, no way would I have you sitting there doing that. You know what I mean? And it's things like that are hugely important. And I'm like someone that obviously went through the system, but when you look at it then as a whole, you're like, as you said, they're good with their sharpest tax. They're able to see. Obviously, you've taught them well, and they can see things as they are. And you know, I think it's pretty interesting now. They probably come after you now because you're homeschooling, because the Enoch Burke fella was homeschooled himself. But a lot of people don't know and don't want to know that his brothers and sisters, they have PhDs. So that woman done a good job. You know what I mean? So anyone that wants to look down their nose at homeschooling, like, I tip me hat to you. It's an absolutely monumental task, but fair play.
Yeah, I tell you, you're talking about your dad and all. If my children had still been in school with all that going on, I'd be fucking locked up. I'd be in there with Enoch already. I'd run a bleeding muck what they're trying to force on them. They're nothing but indoctrination camps. And I've noticed that as well. It's great. An awful lot of people are starting to, well, that I'm speaking, an awful lot of people have spoken the last while are thinking about homeschooling their kids, which is brilliant. I just started, like, what they're trying to bring in at the moment, I wouldn't have a child near the school. Not a hope. Not what the bollocks are trying to put that out.
No, I agree with you. I think you're going to see a lot more people that are probably going to homeschool now because they're seeing the woods from the trees now, and they're like, no, I'm not having that, you know. And rather than and look, I mean, some people might not be in that position where they can do that and they have to send them, but like, I'm talking to a lot of people myself, and they're saying that they're arming the kids before they go in, essentially with, don't believe this, don't believe that, that's nonsense, question that, don't get engaged, and don't engage with this, like, you know what I mean. And I think that's a highly interesting point that a lot of people go, like, I have a good friend of mine, and this person will always reach out and be saying to me, like, look what's going on here. And that's a person that was wired from age 4, I think they were saying to me. And I was just like, well, that's great, like, that you were so young and that you knew what was happening. And it's a sad thing as well, too, I suppose, in a way, that people need to be that young to be wise to things, because otherwise, like, you're going to be conned for a very long time, and it's going to be very difficult. You know, I always believe in telling the truth, so that's the way I'd view things. Once you're old enough to understand what's going on, you need to know, because these people that are out there, like you said earlier on, like, there's some very, very evil individuals running around, and you got to be aware of it.
Without a shadow of a doubt, mate, we're surrounded by, like I said earlier on, and that's a big part of That's a big part of what I want to do. I really want to stamp that out. Just that I really did. I think I've said it in my tweets. I don't care. Man, things I'm on. I was on Toby's thing there, and I'm eating all the whole that Mike was on it. Anyone that hurts a little child, I think that the family should get allowed to visit first, and then I think they should be in public done away with, big time. Come here, and all these suspended sentences. It's not a fucking hope. If you get caught with anything like that, you're gonna wait for the rest of your life. You do the hardest time for the rest of your life, right? You don't. It's something that keeps me up at night, Ninja. I'm head over heels, man. I go through fucking walls for my kids, right? Yeah. And the thoughts of any little, hold on a minute. Just the thoughts of any child getting hurt in that way, it fucking destroys me soul.
But that's what I love about like what you're doing and saying there, Ferg. Like the passion that's there, it's very clear and easy for people to see, and you know, there's no politician that stood up now in front of anybody and had an ounce of that passion. And I fully agree with you. Like people that do those sort of things absolutely unequivocally need to go. And with, as you said, the harshest possible sentence. Like we live in a world here now where you've got Enoch Burke sitting in a jail cell, and you've got these people running around who have done things and will do things, and you're just looking and you're going, this is absolutely absurd. It's clown world. But like you said, I think everything's getting peeled back now at the moment, and people are really realizing what's going on and who's been running the show for a very long time, and indeed the little circles that they're in. And I think slowly but surely people are getting around to the fact of what's going on. And unfortunately, I think in a lot of ways, a lot of it's been pushed through the likes of the music industry and the entertainment industry. And a lot of people have a very hard time of about logging off and clicking away from it. But I think you need to be strong. You need to say, no, I'm not having this, an ounce of it, and you're not watching it. Like you were talking about there about like the likes of entertainment, and I was only saying this to my parents recently, and I think I said on the previous stream, I've become way more conservative than they ever have. I watch something, and if there's something messing in the first 5 minutes, it's done. I'm not watching it. Don't want to know. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just how I view things now, and I'm sure like you were the same yourself, obviously.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Yeah, I don't watch much telly, Ninja. The last few months I started watching Fair City because they based a character on me.
And that's why I wanted to jump into that next, the media side of things. Like, what do you think when you see things like that?
Come here, right? I nearly bleeding wet myself. We straight to jazz, or I was in a kink laughing, right? But come here, I say that to Philip Dwyer, to Derek Bloy, to Chopper and everyone else, right? And Gav the whole lot. Because Moy had the thought privilege thing and everything else, but come here, RTE never based a character on you. I'm the only one that got that. Far unfair, huh?
That's it, yeah, far unfair. I thought that was very funny as well. And actually, what ended up happening was that backfired on them because a lot of people started to look at that and they went, I actually agree with what he's saying. I think they got rid of the character pretty quickly. They're like, uh-oh. But yeah, when you're saying that about like Philip Dwyer as well, like I saw there the other day, Mark Ward, TD for Sinn Féin. Did you see this now? He was crying to Mark Malone and he was saying, we're paying for ads and we're not seeing much people looking at them, but these citizen journalists, and I went, he's talking about Phil. He won't name him, but he's saying it, allegedly, speculatively, of course, because I don't know the thoughts and inner workings of Mark Ward TD. But now Mark is out there on the hill, allegedly, speculatively, with the Palestinian flag. I'm wondering when he'll go over. I don't think he'll go over anytime soon. But they're super upset about people becoming citizen journalists, and like yourself there as well, like it obviously bothers them so much, which I think is hilarious, and I think it really works out well that they get so irate about guys like you. And I think, as I said, and I'll just say it again, it's the passion. I feel it's the passion that you're showing,
Yeah. Do you know what? Living rent free and all that little tiny heads, it's gas. I do look at them throwing the toys out of the pram and all, and I absolutely break me bollocks laughing. I'm not joking. An ordinary Joe South in Dublin, right? Just an ordinary, that's all I am, like. You know what I mean? And they're trying their absolute damnedest to drag my name through everything to make me look bad in the whole lot. And all they're doing is throwing more people my way because there's more and more people waking up to that whole agenda, and it's absolutely wonderful. And keep going, lads. You're doing us the world a good, fair play this.
It's the Streisand effect. Like, I mean, when they start saying your name in the doll, I was just like, I think we're at a point in time where, maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe even not that long ago, I think if someone's name was said in the doll, I think people would go, oh no. But like, I was on the other side of it. I was like, that's great now that they're at the same thread. There's loads of people are going to look and see who he is. They're going to look up and go, what's he for? Oh, yeah, no, I'm all for that as well. They're only just going to add to your numbers. I think it's brilliant. I love when they do it. I think it's a great signal boost there it is. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
It's a strange thing to try and get used to. Now, even like out my wife or out the like, I get people all the time. It's so weird, man. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. People coming up like and shaking your hand and thanking you for what you're doing the whole lot. It's just mad. You think it had that much of a reach or an effect on people's lives, what you're doing, you know? And it's beautiful. It's a really positive thing. Like I don't know, as I said, I just try to stay positive and I look at the bigger picture here, and I'll tell you one thing, we're on for a really beautiful rebirth here, and just rolling on the day when all these absolute monsters are held to account. I can't wait. Really can't wait.
I'm looking forward to it now. I think we're looking forward to it more than most. We are. I'm just going to jump into the chat there. There's a lot of people sending their love towards you as well, Ferg. There's way too many comments to be reading out here tonight with the amount of love that's been shown to you. But a lot of people are very happy to see you here. They're delighted at what you're doing. They're showing their love for the work that you're doing. A lot of people are very keenly up for you as an election candidate. They're saying, yeah, they'll absolutely vote for you, and they're going to share that message around to people in the local area. That's what you can do, guys. You know, all you can do is if you've got someone in the area that Ferg's running, tell people in the area and say, look, you got to vote for him. You got to vote for this guy. You know, a lot of people nowadays, they're so disillusioned with the system that they will happily take suggestions. And I think that that's a hugely important thing. So we've got Angela Gardner that's in here. It says hello. We've got Rockus that's in here. It says hello. We've got Erda Only B1014. It says keep the men of the rising and their brave sacrificing your thoughts with Easter fast approaching. And that's a great comment because that's actually, you know, I know Fergus was probably saying to himself, what's he doing bringing me on a Good Friday? That's why. Because I think you can see why I wanted to bring Ferg here on the Good Friday, because the passion the man shows, it's absolutely unbelievable. I would love to do a stream, and I'm going to do one in the future. I'm going to call it, I think, the Far Right Justice League, I think we might call it, or something like that. And Ferg and Phil and Satirica Savage and various others then as well, too, on the stream. And I think we'll do that at some stage, and I think that would be great. But I wanted to bring Ferg in because, you know, Ferg's been doing a great job and, you know, is, as he said earlier on himself, he's a massive follower of God. So I think that that's a hugely important thing. And I mean, not to say that anybody else isn't. I'm just saying, you know, he always gives you a God bless, which I love. I think that that's a great thing. And you could be sending a quick message and he'd say, God bless. And I'm like, love the energy. Love the energy I do. It's absolutely fantastic. So you've got a lot of love in the chat there, Ferg. Is there anything that you wanted to say to the guys and gals in the chat there?
No, just fair play to actually owning in, and I know most of them anyway. They're all absolutely sound. I met Leanne. Is Leanne in there? I can't see the chat, so
yeah.
I met Leanne a couple of weeks ago out with the garden. Remember, it's absolutely sound. Now, look, every pair, and Karen's probably there. Karen Bones. Karen was out from America one time. We were outside the RTE doing a thing there. Like, that was one of my first times I got up and spoke. Still can't get used to that either, by the way. No, just listen. Thanks a million for everything, all the support, all the love. You get it right back tenfold with me, you know what I mean? Just keep on doing what you're doing, lads. Keep the pressure on. Don't take a backward step. And have no fear. Have no fear. And that's their biggest weapon. I said it the other day. Their biggest weapon is fear. Their biggest weapon is the truth. Keep on hitting them with it and they will fall. They're going to fall.
Absolutely.
And, just means it to yourself as well, mate. Thanks a million for everything you've done. I remember actually the first night, excuse me, the first night going back, she's done how long ago it is now. Myself and Phil was doing the live out in Ballymun. Yeah. Excuse me. And he actually gave you a shout out. And I think that was a Thursday. It could have been a Wednesday or Thursday. We were on the next night, and the next night I tuned in, and I think he only realised who I was then. I think I put a comment up or something like that. But I haven't missed a week since, and I think it's invaluable what you're doing, mate. I really do. It's absolutely brilliant what you do, getting the message out the way you do it. And if the gift of the gab, you really have.
That's a big thing. That's a very appreciated coming from you as well too, because like that, you said you gave me the shout out. And Philip, in fairness to him, like, guys, like, he's been on like big streams and all that. He was on with Reverend Simon Sideways, and even in that he was like, yeah, there's this fella in Ninja Night, and I'm like, he doesn't even, like, that's the thing with Philip, like, he doesn't need to do that, but he does. You know what I mean? He's just like, there's this guy over here and he's doing his own thing. And then you came in, like you said, then into the stream, and I was just like, is that Fergus? Is that the guy that I've been talking about? And then next of all, it was like, yeah. And then we were following each other on Twitter, and I'm like, it is the dude. And like, again, I can't say enough, like, what you guys are doing is so important. Like, I mean, I'm humbled to think that, you know, you think that way about me. Doing what I'm doing is important. What you guys are doing, it trumps it, in my opinion, because you guys are out on the street. You're out there, you're putting your future on the line, you're putting yourselves on the line, and it's something to be completely and utterly admired what you guys are doing. I sincerely hope that you'll be elected now when it comes to election time. Now, I think there's no better person and no better people that need to be elected at this moment in time to this country to help this country out of the hole that it's in. And I do believe that we'll get out of this hole that we're in right now.
Without a shadow of a doubt, mate. Without a shadow, we will. It's just a matter of perseverance and tenacity, and keep on going, and don't take a backward step. Simple as that. Just keep on going. That as I said as well, your most valuable heritage is your most priceless heritage is your Irish blood, and that's why this is God's country, and that's why these absolute devils want to destroy it. But I tell you one thing now, they picked the wrong fucking fight, the wrong people, because we're not going nowhere. This is our home, this is our children's birthright, and we're not giving it up for no one. So get it into your fucking heads, whoever needs to hear that, because that's just it. Excuse me, that's just it. And listen, God bless everyone in this fight worldwide. I want to give a shout out as well. I'm in touch with a lot of American patriots that like family to me. My red, white, and blue family. I have a little thing on Twitter. We used to be in a group chat on Telegram. I won't name them all, but they're absolutely staunch. Same the worldwide names. People from all these different areas. You just want the one thing. You want our country safe. You want our children's future secure, and we want freedom in all its forms. And that's it. And we won't stop till we get it.
No, I have to say it's a great message, a very simple message it is, and that's exactly what people want to see. They want to do it, and it's the same the world over. I think a nationalist government is definitely on its way. I think, like I said earlier on, I think that the political side of things, the political spectrum, I think they're all afraid now. I think they don't know what to do. I think you're going to see a lot of them pull back and try to save face as much as they can. I mean, the hate speech bill is a massive thing. It's something that needs to be defeated as soon as possible. And I think once that's defeated as well, like these people have got nowhere left to run anymore. They were banking on that being a winner, and after the referendum being such an overwhelming no on both accounts, I think that's what's really sent these people running. And I think an election with people like yourself, and including yourself, running and winning seats is going to absolutely send shivers up their spines, because like you said, it's God's country, it's our country, and that big fight back, it needs to be happening. It needs to be happening, and it's going to happen. I'm seeing Armchair Limerick Nationalist that says, fair play to you, Ferg. Hope you get in. Well done, Ninja, for having him on. Listen, I'm just here. I'm just a guy with a microphone, and I'm very happy to have anybody on and everybody on that wants to come on and talk about what's happening here in this country. And nobody does it better than Ferg when it comes to being very passionate as well. And again, he's a guy, I think, that's going to be a big force in politics going forward. And amongst the other lads that are there, you know, Philip Dwyer, you've got Derek Blythe, you've got Gavin Pepper. I think they're going to be a big force going forward. Huge force. And I'm hoping that when you do approach and we get into the doll, I hope you're going to keep that energy and say, like, you know, here are you, what you saying. I love it. I love it.
Don't worry, mate. That's not going nowhere. We'll be doubling down on that. Everything's right at all. Don't worry about that. Imagine looking over the row and seeing Pauline Murphy rattling in the bleeding oil. And tell you one thing, we can't wait for the day, whether it's Phil, Gav, or whatever. Just we just need Nationalists in the doll and take back control of this country. Just people that absolutely adore her and just want the best for their people and the children. That's it. Sorry, mate.
The fact that it'll be recorded. You know what I mean? In the doll, it's like that's gonna be out. You know what I mean? And if someone's called out, it's like, here's Fergus Power. Oh shit! Do you know what I mean? What do you say there? Bang! What are you talking about there? What do you want to do? I love it. I love that energy. Go ahead, Fergus. There, I cut across you there.
No, you're grand. I just before we go, whatever that time's finishing up at.
Yeah.
Just I was with my wife. We're together 20 years this year, right in February. We're married 5 years in September this year, and I don't know where to be in my life only for her. I absolutely love her, and I can't sing her praises enough, mate. She's just one in a fucking billion, and I absolutely adore her. So I just want to give Laurie a shout out, and my children. That's why I do what I do, and I won't stop either.
Love to say, I love the passion they do, Ferg. Ferg, listen, I'm going to finish off here and say thanks very much to you, because I know you're a busy man. You've got a busy night ahead of you do. So I just want to say thanks very much for coming on. I'm hoping to have you on again at some stage as well, too, especially coming up to the election. I think anybody that's running as a candidate, I'm definitely going to have on. And I want to give more of a push as well, too, and show people like that you guys are out there, and there is hope, and there are people that are looking to do the right thing here in this country. And I want to just say a big thanks to you for giving your time tonight and coming across here to this Gonzo production channel talking like you have with such passion for so long. So I really appreciate that, Ferg. Thanks a million.
Absolutely no problem, mate. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you too, and everyone in the chat. God bless everyone in this fight. Yeah, have a great Easter weekend, and yeah, we'll see you down the road soon.
I appreciate it, guys. I'm going to log off now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be back in 2 weeks' time, so I'll be back for a solo stream then. I'll be dropping more videos between now and then. So thanks for jumping in tonight and listening to me and Ferg. It's hugely, hugely appreciated, and we'll talk to you again soon. All right, look.